You remember how last week I talked about how there's only 5 chapters left of Assassination Classroom and then the manga is done? And when I talked briefly about, like, how they're going to handle the finale of Assassination Classroom. Are they going to make a Season 3? Are they going to extend Assassination Classroom Season 2? Make it longer to, house the extra arcs that, could possibly not fit in with the remaining episodes? I remember discussing quite a bit about this. And, well, we found out briefly after I made that video that Season 2 of Assassination Classroom is going to completely cover the manga's ending. So, what this means is that we are going to be getting the manga's ending in this season of Assassination Classroom, which is actually pretty damn awesome. But there is some very concerning things that I need to talk about. For one, the pacing, the rushing. Now, I pray that I'm just forgetting, and it's been a while. Now, I am a little bit tired as well. That could also be a factor. I've been up all night. But when I sat down and watched this week's episode of Assassination Classroom, it felt like this arc was lacking substance. For instance, it felt like it was lacking a lot of beef, the meat, to the arc. Like, I mean, majority of, the content was there, but it felt like it was lacking something. Like, it was missing some certain panels I remember. I know it's missing something with Kurosama, but I just cannot remember it completely. And I'm kind of scared about that, because that was the impression I had when I was watching this episode of Assassination Classroom, that there was content being rushed. And I think this is actually the first time we've seen a case of this in Assassination Classroom's anime. Rushing. And that's what's got me worried. Since we now know that Assassination Classroom Season 2 is going to be covering the manga's ending, does that mean that the studio that's working on Assassination Classroom is going to rush the fuck out of the anime just to get to that end? I hope not. I really, 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 really hope not, because there's too much good content that I do not want to see kind of skipped or kind of rushed to the maximum speed just to get to that ending. I really hope that's not what's going to happen, because I had my fears, because when I saw that news and then I saw this episode, I'm like, is there something missing? So I need to ask the manga readers again that are really full aware of, this part of the series. I remember it, I just don't remember if it was, because I feel like there's something missing in this episode. I really do. I feel like there's something missing with Kurosama, but I just cannot figure it out. And it might be just me being paranoid. Maybe I did see it, and I just think, I'm being paranoid and there's something that wasn't really there. But if there was, like, if they cut something out, please let me know in the comments below, because it felt like that to me when I was watching this episode. So enough of that, let's talk about the episode. So this episode concludes the Reaper arc. And like I said, though, it felt very fast. Like, I did not think this arc could be finished in, like, 2 episodes? Yeah, it was 2 fucking episodes, wasn't it? Holy shit, 2 fucking episodes. Like, this arc was at least a good 15, 20 chapters? I think it was. I think this arc was about 15, 20 chapters, and 2 episodes covered it? Yeah, there's no way. There's no fucking way they put all that content in 2 episodes. There's just no fucking way they could do that. So, that's also a strange mystery to me right now. But yeah, the arc is done. The Reaper arc is done. And for the most part, from what I remember from the arc, everything was kind of there. But like I said, I feel like something's missing. Still, the action looked very nice. Animation was on point. Music was on point. I love that music when, Kurosama and the Reaper was falling from, the fall into the well where the water was. I love that fucking music. That was badass. And then seeing the scene with, the bar licking when you have Dor Corlson, so he's like, oh, I can lick this bar and I can get it dissolved in, like, half a day. I'm like, oh my god. And then, how the students, they were hiding and all that, up against the wall with the change of colors of their suit. I mean, overall, the content I remember is still there, and it looked rather nice. Like, all the animation to the way the scenes were executed, the voice acting, it looked wonderful, and I have really no complaints with that from what I can remember. And then, getting to see, the Death God, or, the Reaper of Death or whatever, seeing how he was done with his character, his voice actor, and his face reveal, I felt like it was rather nice. I did feel like the face reveal was lacking compared to the manga, though. Because I remember when that was done, I was like, oh my god, like, it's just the way you saw the face and all that, it looked so creepy. I mean, it looked creepy when, his, like, skin fell off, but for the most part, it did not look that good, like, that eerie, compared to how the manga was done. So, when it comes to scenes comparing anime and manga, I feel like the manga did it better for that part alone. But when it came to the action, obviously the anime did it better. I have to say I love the action that was in this episode. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the episode concludes the arc. I mean, we get to see a different change in the policy for the students. If any of the students die, the person that comes for the bounty will not get any money. So that's kind of protecting the students. I mean, you got to see where, Bitch Sensei finally changes over and helps out the students, and she helps out Kurosama. We get that romance between Kurosama and Bitch Sensei. So, I mean, very cute stuff going on there with the romance. So yeah, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.